everybody, my name is Magzubiso Makeleni. I would like to welcome you to another episode of our videos. Today we're going to speak about how do you change yourself, how do you move from one place to another place. You may ask yourself, what do we mean, or what do I mean when I say from moving from one place to another place? Usually I want to do an example with me. I've been smoking weed and using alcohol for so long in my life, and I was around with people who used to tell me, Oti, you've never quit this, and it's not easy to move away from where you are to another level. And from there, it was not easy at all for me to change that lifestyle. I continued to do what I didn't like the most. And what I've noticed along the line, all it was here on my brain. By the time I was staying with those people who said to be a drug dealer, maybe smoking weed and smoking cigarette, and when you want to change, it's not easy and it's not possible. And it was the moment they were saying those words, they went through my mind, and my mind were programming them, and I didn't refuse to take those words. I was taking them to my mind, and then the mind programmed them and tell the cells of the body that you will never change, you will remain the same. But one day I said something to myself. Why sometimes we have to believe what other people say? Why don't we try what we think it is possible? Because we were born in this generation to make changes, to add what people say it's impossible, to prove that there is nothing for really that is impossible. But what is important is to practice what you do more often. And by that time I started to say, okay, let me try this. And I say, okay, this is the time now to move on and to quit this weed. The first day I told myself, no, I'm going to quit this. And as I told myself it was not easy at all, I focused on it. I tried by all means practicing it constantly, but it was not easy to happen. Okay, as time goes on, and it didn't happen by that time I wanted it, and as time goes on, something happened. It was a bad story. I remember there was this guy who, I don't know him. This guy, we were sitting as I was staying in the residence, and this guy, he moved on in this residence, and we stayed together with this guy. But by that time I was continuing smoking, doing whatever I wanted to do. And this guy, the moment he moved in this residence, he was somebody strange, and his body was cutting something that I don't know. And the moment he arrived at the room, as we were sharing the room, the temperatures were becoming hot, and I was sweating, and I was wondering what is going on. I started to lose energy. I started to lose strength for a period of time. And by that time, I told myself, because I know the truth, somehow we need to pray in order to make sure that the other spirit that we are facing, we defeat them. But my prayers were not strong, although I was praying after noticing that there was something wrong happening. And I told myself, okay, there's something that I need to do now, something greater than what I used to do. I told myself, okay, it may happen that I pray, but my prayer, God cannot hear them because I'm smoking, I'm drinking, and I'm doing all this stuff. That's when I started to say, okay, now I have to quit smoking. And the first day I told myself, let me quit smoking. I programmed that to my mind because I was looking at the situation that I was facing. And I said, okay, let me quit. When I quitted smoking first day, usually when I used to say to myself, I want to quit smoking, there was nothing happening at all. And let's say after maybe 3 or 7 hours, I was feeling that there is a headache. I have a headache. But that day, because I programmed it in my mind because of the situation that I quit smoking, I've never felt nothing. I've never felt a headache. That's when I realized that everything that we ended up feeling or we ended up saying that is happening to us, it starts from our brain. Every negative energy that we put in our brain, it tells the whole body to react towards it. And every positive energy that we put inside our brain or we try to install inside our brain, it comes exactly as it is, and then our brain, it will influence it towards the whole body. And then from there, that's when I started to say, okay, I saw that was possible and nothing impossible at all. But what is impossible is what you program in your mind. And in the words, what you program in your mind, the moment you program something in your mind is the moment you won't be able to do it. If you say, I won't do this, I won't be able to get distinction on my molecules, you won't get those distinctions. Why? Because you program it in your mind, and the mind, it will tell the body. Because the mind, I would call it, according to my view, is the power cell of our body. So everything that we program in our mind, it will be seen as the result, and our body will act towards it. So now what I'm trying to say in all this process, let's be aware of what we program in our mind, because the mind is the powerful weapon that we have, is the powerful tool that controls everything in our body indirectly. So nowadays, now I am speaking as someone who's no longer smoking, who's no longer using all the things that I used to do. But what made me to change? It was here. It was here in the brain. It was here on my mind. Then nowadays I'm living a new life. So I would like to say to you, be aware of what you program in your mind. Because although, in the previous videos we mentioned something about the 3 sections of life. These 3 sections of life, which is the first section of life is our physical body, and the second sections of life is our mind, and the third section of life is our spirit. That's why we say all together, those sections, they work together and make us to who we are. First of all, if your brain is negative, your body physically, your second section, which is your body, and your third section, which is your spirit, they won't be able to function well, because you deceive one of the sections of your body. All these 3 sections, they work together, and when they work together, everything that you want in your life, it comes to existence, because you have programmed the section together. You make sure that you make this 3 sections to work together. The brain, if you cannot think, if you cannot be able to visualize things, create imagination, you won't be able to walk towards your future. You won't be able to act towards your destiny, because it starts from your brain, and from your brain, your body, it acts. And then while you are acting, by your body doing action, by your physical being, also you need something, which is your spirit. Because if your spirit is not there in your body, you won't be able to take any action because you will be dead by that time. And you need to make sure that you don't make your spirit to die while you're still alive. Because there are people who have the spirit that is dead while they are alive. You are living, you can think. You are living, you can walk and do action. But you are dead because your brain, your spirit is dead. How can you say the spirit is dead? When we say the spirit is dead, it's when you don't know exactly who you are and what is your purpose of life. When we say you don't know the purpose of life, it's like, there's those people who have degrees, PhDs, have everything, but they don't know why they are here in the universe. They don't know the exact purpose. Because you get the exact purpose why you are here in the universe by unlocking the spirit inside yourself. Because the spirit inside you is what carries the core, it's what carries the message that tells you why are you living, what is your purpose. A lot of people, they're moving here and here because they maintain the two sections of their life. They focus on their mind, they focus on their physical being, but they forget about their spirit. Yes, they are living, but they are not happy. Yes, they are living, but they are not enjoying life. They have everything. What makes them not to enjoy? Because they didn't manage to balance the three sections of life. Just imagine, we have the universe, we have planet Earth. As we have planet Earth, what is happening? Planet Earth have atmosphere, have soil, but doesn't have water. Do you think without those three sections, there will be life on Earth? If there is no water, but there is soil, and there is also atmosphere, do you think that is there any kind of plant that can be growing? Do you think that we can survive as humans without one of the three? No. That is the same as ourselves. We are the reflect, like there is a language of nature. The language of nature which is not understood by everyone. This language of nature, it's what tells us, it tells a story about ourselves. This language of nature, it was created by one God of all people, because at the end of the day we cannot run away. They call the God this name, they call the God this name, but there is one God at the end of the day. And then it was created by the God. So I would like to continue with the video in the coming time. Goodbye.